I know some here are actually really rusty. These ones here, two of them in fact, look like they maybe have been here since the property was built. Flat tires, doesn't look like they removed them at any time ever. So it's not very often that I actually see escalators at a timeshare. In fact, I've only seen one before. And like I said, this is both meaningless and interesting at the same time because trespassers will be prosecuted. Looks like maybe there was supposed to be a hot tub or a spa down there, or what was supposed to be a rooftop pool here on top of the parking garage. Okay, so that set of elevator banks was completely out of commission. I know they're doing work. Essentially, it doesn't seem like there's a way to get down here other than taking the stairways. So I guess that's what we'll have to do, and let's make our way out here. Okay, so here we are right outside kind of the main lobby registration check-in at Club Wyndham Panama City Beach here in Florida. And this is where you go in to check in, register, and then ultimately what you're going to do is you're going to park your car if you've driven on this side of the road because the actual rooms are on the other side of the road. Don't worry, you don't need to cross this fairly busy street because they do have a sky bridge. We'll show you all that here. And when you're actually coming up to the property, you might not immediately recognize it as Wyndham, but they do have a sign up there that says Wyndham Vacation Resorts. It's also called kind of Emerald Beach, but this is the name of the condo complex that's also here because a lot of the rooms here in the tower are actually whole ownership condominium. So as I understand it, I don't know the exact breakdown. Club Wyndham owns a number of units. They offer them to Club Wyndham owners. And then there are also, like I said, whole ownership condos. You might be able to rent those from an owner, or they're snowbirds and they live in them certain times of the year. But yeah, that's the situation here. We're going to be going across the sky bridge here in a moment. But I do want to point out there is a few little restaurants and a convenience store just up here, kind of just past where that school bus is turning left there. So just up there on the left-hand side. A few restaurants. You can get some pizza, pretty convenient. We did that the other night. It's actually pretty good. Convenience store, there's a Mexican restaurant there as well. So you have that, but this is otherwise pretty conveniently located here in Panama City Beach. Just drive up here, one of the main piers is up there, and we did that last night. Went to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. It was actually surprisingly good, given we had a really bad experience at the one in Destin when we stayed at Club Wyndham Emerald Grand. If you want to see a resort tour of Emerald Grand, well, I'll put a link to that up here. We were there for a few nights. So check that out after you finished watching this video. But now let's head in here and we'll take a look around. They do have a number of parking spots just for registration. And if these are all full, like they were when we arrived, there are some parking spaces around the corner. Quite a few, in fact. We actually noticed that a lot of them were full with people who are doing construction work here at the property because they are doing some repainting, working on the elevators and whatnot. If you love traveling and making the most of your timeshare, you're going to want to be sure to join the free destination timeshare community over on SKOOL. It's the perfect place for like-minded owners who want to get the most out of what they own. Connect with an active community of members from around the world, people just like you. It's a place to hang out, learn, share experiences, and get helpful tips from other owners. Also over there, you're going to find a classroom with resources, courses, knowledge bases, plus the option to sign up for expert consultation. You can also check out the members map and weekly events on the community calendar. And best of all, there's no ads and no algorithms pushing you content like you see on all those other social media platforms. Just a great community of timeshare enthusiasts, exactly what social media was meant to be. It doesn't cost you anything to join, so scan the QR code right here on the screen or use the link in the description below, and we'll see you inside the best timeshare community over on SKOOL. So let's head in here now. We'll take a look at the lobby. Just on the other side of that is a pool. There's a Starbucks. And we also want to show you the parking garage here too. Yeah, so here's kind of the main lobby. It's where you come and check in. We do have the desk over here where you'll come and get your wristbands, like I have kind of on my wrist. I can't show you because it's covered up by my sleeve, but they'll try and get you to sign up for a timeshare presentation. Down here we have a Starbucks, a gift shop down here too, but we'll take a look at that when we come back through. So now let's head out here and pool area out here. There's another one on the other side of the street by the oceanfront tower, but we'll look at this one first. We do have a few little seating areas here, so just a nice place to kind of come and relax. And over here we do have an activity center and game room, so let's check that out. Yeah, so mainly kind of just a game room or an arcade. They do have pinball, some claw machines, foosball table over there, a number of different arcades here as well. Looks like over here they also have Miss Pac-Man. So it looks like it might be a fun place to kind of come and hang out, maybe spend some time if it's a rainy day. But now that we've seen in here, let's go out here and we'll check out the pool. Yeah, so pretty nice pool area. They actually have a couple of pools, but we'll point out here, restrooms just over here. So take advantage of those if you need those. Neat little pool area here. Palm trees. We do have the parking garage right there in front of us. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But yeah, pool area here. Let's walk up here and see what's going on. They do have a hot tub here, kind of a little splash area here in this pool. This pool here goes up to 5 feet in depth. That one there is 3 feet to 5 feet. This one also has a 0 entry down at the other end. So let's just make our way down here and kind of look at these kind of water features. I'm sure your kids will love those. Lots of seating, but not really seeing too many umbrellas anywhere. Just kind of at these tables with chairs. They do also seem to have plenty of pool loungers to take advantage of, and they do have shuffleboard here too. Yeah, here's that 0 entry section to the pool, so this is good for people with mobility issues. Young kids, maybe you just kind of want to wade in the shallower area, you can take advantage of that here. So some neat little water features. 2 really nice pools here on this side of the property. We'll be taking a look at the other pool at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around for that. But now let's just take a quick walk through here. They have some additional activities. Yeah, in here they have a couple of pool tables. They have ping pong. They have kind of a giant Jenga over here, but it's like a half a Jenga. I'm not too sure what's going on with that. They also have giant chess and giant Connect 4, as well as cornhole. So take advantage of these while you're here at the property. And now let's head back out this way. We're gonna back past the pool and then out and back through the lobby. And here on the other side of the pool, it looks like they have giant checkers here as well. So now let's make our way back down here. There's some gas grills at the end I'm going to show you real quick. So it looks like just a couple of gas grills here, and I noticed signs on them that says they're for reservation. So you need to see the front desk, I guess, about reserving or using the gas grills. But nice to have those here at the resort. So just one last look here at the pool area. Now let's continue on. Okay, so that was the pool. Let's head back here through the lobby. We're gonna check out that Starbucks, that gift shop, and then we'll head out to the parking garage. So we're kind of back through the lobby here. And this is where you'd come if you're doing a timeshare owner update, whether you own Club Wyndham or you don't. Maybe you're here on a promo package, timeshare presentation. This is where you check in, but the actual main sales floor is up on the 3rd floor, and I'll point that out here in a little bit. And here we have a Sensations gift shop. So lots of t-shirts and those kind of kitschy beachy souvenir items. You can get all of that here. They also have beverages and, you know, just all that kind of stuff you can get in those beach apparel and gift shops. Over here we do have Starbucks. If you're needing that morning cup of joe, come here and grab that at Starbucks. Actually, what's pretty good, we got Starbucks the other day. It is kind of your full service Starbucks, but it is a licensed location, kind of like the ones you have in Target and whatnot. So now let's go around here. We're gonna walk out into the parking garage. I'm gonna kind of show you a few things about that. Okay, so here at the parking garage, they do have an ice vending machine. I thought that was kind of neat. Basically just bags of ice you can purchase. I believe it was $6 or $6.50 plus tax. And they have a bike rack out here. So if you've brought a bike, you might be able to lock up a bike, or I guess if you live here, you might lock up a bike, because I know some here are actually really rusty. These ones here, 2 of them in fact, look like they maybe have been here since the property was built. They look like they're in really rough shape. Flat tires, nobody's ridden those, and doesn't look like they removed them at any time ever. And here we have the parking lot exit. I believe this is 5 parking decks. So lots of parking here. You just keep going up and up and up. Parking on the 3rd deck is the most convenient because that's with direct access to Skybridge. But of course, it is also the fullest deck here in the parking garage. And we'll actually show you that here right after we finish up down here on the 1st deck. You do have the parking garage entrance down here, and it actually has 2 arms. So one side actually looks like it's an entrance, the other side is an exit, but it's not. That is just the entrance down there. 2 lanes to come in, and then you exit here. You can go left or right, but I tend to find going right is the closest and easiest because right out there is the main street. Now that we've seen down here, let's head up to the 3rd deck. Now we could take the elevator up here. There's actually a set of escalators that go up to the 3rd floor, so let's head around there. So it's not very often that I actually see escalators at a timeshare. In fact, I've only seen one before. That was at Marriott's Aruba Ocean Club, and they have an escalator that goes to kind of the sales floor, and this one kind of does the same, though it also goes up here to the Sky Bridge on level 3. So now as I'm up here on the top, we do have the Sky Bridge here. This is the Sky Bar, closed right now. I do also want to point out, they have a gym or a fitness center on level 2. It's kind of in between here. You can't bring the escalator to it. You can get to it by going either up or back down these stairs here, and it is kind of just through a set of doors just down there, or you can of course take the elevator down to it as well. So now that I've pointed out the fitness center, let's just walk through here and we'll take a look at deck 3 of the parking garage. Okay, so here we are on deck 3. They do have kind of a loading and unloading zone right here, so you can kind of pull up here, kind of stop, unload all your stuff, because they have no shortage of luggage carts. Something I love here. It's almost like I've gone to heaven here, because if you know anything about me, I've done a previous rant video about luggage carts, or lack thereof, and lack of maintenance. I'll put a link to it right up here. But yeah, lots of luggage carts. They seem to be in pretty good shape, so you won't have trouble getting a hold of one of these. I can almost promise you that. Nice kind of loading and unloading zone here. Then you can go and find a parking space after you've unloaded, or you can depart after you've loaded back up. Okay, so that was the parking level 3. I do want to take you up and show you something both kind of meaningless and interesting at the same time. That's on deck 6 here, but I do want to point out here, place you'll come for owner updates, timeshare presentations here on level 3. It's after you check in downstairs, they'll bring you up here. Let's head up to deck 6. Check out that thing that's, I find at least, kind of interesting. All right, so here we are on level 6. This would be where you'd come to if you're parked on level 6, but there really isn't a whole lot going on up here because most of the parking happens on the lower floors. But up here, I just thought this was really quite interesting. Let's just head up these stairs here. Now, like I said, this is both meaningless and interesting at the same time because I think they were supposed to have a rooftop pool up here. It says, pool closed, trespassers will be prosecuted. I won't enter the pool area, but just thought this was interesting here. They have this covered up with what kind of actually looks like a new cover. Looks like maybe there was supposed to be a hot tub or a spa down there. But yeah, kind of a rooftop pool here, or what was supposed to be a rooftop pool here on top of the parking garage. And I might think they actually probably needed another pool if they had built what I think is actually supposed to be an additional building or additional tower that was probably going to be here. Because if you look way back here, there is another parking garage back there. We actually drove back to it. There's just a couple cars parked in there, but I think there might have supposed to have been another tower kind of between this parking garage and the one back there that was also part of this Emerald Beach condo property. And I think probably the financial crisis of 2007, 2008, 2009 kind of did them in, and they essentially didn't build any more units here. Club Wyndham, I believe, actually had to step in and purchase some of the units, which became Club Wyndham Panama City Beach. But yeah, just thought this was interesting. Now let's head back down. We want to hit the sky bridge and make our way across and into the main tower. So now we're making our way across Sky Bridge. Kind of a neat feature here. They also have the Sky Bar on the Sky Bridge. It opens up later in the afternoons. They seem to have some live entertainment and whatnot. So really great here to have Sky Bar on the Sky Bridge. Making our way the rest of the way across the Sky Bridge here. They do have another set of escalators that go up and down in a nice little seating area here. And over here where you'll find kind of some quick bites and Hershey's ice cream. They essentially serve pizza and ice cream. So it's kind of neat. It does open up later in the afternoon. Then over here, they do have a place where you can get some games, some puzzles, kind of just borrow them, bring them back, or you can play them anywhere around here too. But down here is kind of the lobby area of the Emerald Beach units and Wyndham units. They have signs down here kind of directing you to elevators for each one, but right now they're doing some elevator maintenance. It really doesn't matter which set of elevators you use. But we'll be heading down there in just a moment after I show you a couple more things up here. Over here, they do have kind of some pamphlets, brochures, and booklets, kind of all those discounts that you would want to take advantage of while you're here in Panama City, and an ATM, as well as some other kind of seating areas here too. They also have elevators here. If you can't use the escalator, you can take those down to level 1. Or if you don't need an elevator, you can actually cut through here, takes you down to level 3, just a few steps. And then there's elevators right over there that you can take up to any of the floors here at the property. So pretty easy. If you can walk, just cut through there. It's a little bit quicker than taking the elevators here. But now let's go down one of these escalators and we're going to check out kind of the little lobby here. But that's not really the main attraction because now we want to see the pool and the beach. All right, here we are kind of down in the little lobby area. Just some seating areas and each way to go to get to elevators. Let's go over here. I'm going to show you how to get to the beach access. Okay, so they have beach access on this side, and I was a little confused at how to find it initially. But we can take the stairs or we can take the elevator down to the ground floor, the basement, I guess they call it. Let's head down here real quick. Okay, I guess the B actually stands for beach, or at least that's what the elevator said when it got to the B level. They do have some vending here, and then kind of just a little walkway or pathway out here to the beach access. Here is the beach access. No real pool down at this end. We'll see that here in just a moment because it's kind of way down there. Let's just take a look at the beach here. We won't look at this again when we get down to the pool. We'll just look at the pool. Yeah, here is the beach here in Panama City Beach. Beautiful white powdery sand here on the Emerald Coast of Florida. You can get beach chair rentals. They have umbrellas. They have probably some additional activities you can take advantage of. But yeah, really, really nice powdery white sand here on the beaches on the northern coast of Florida at the Panhandle. Yeah, here is kind of the oceanfront tower. Really, really tall structure. I think it's over 20 stories. I'm not exactly sure the number. Probably saw it when we actually looked at the buttons on the elevator. But yeah, really, really nice property here. But now we've kind of seen the beach here. We're going to head down that way because there's a pool on the other side of the dunes, but I'm actually going to cut back through the building. Just making our way back through here. They do have restrooms here, and it's actually kind of decorated, kind of neat. They kind of have these old wooden pallets with some decorations on it. I thought that was kind of a neat little thing, but let's head back up the elevator and go down and check out the pool. something I noticed, they have these kind of signs that tell you which direction to go for the Emerald Beach units versus the Club Wyndham units, but some signs point you one way and then the next sign points back the other way, so don't really pay any attention to those. You can use kind of any of the two main elevator banks to get up to the guest floors. So just making our way through here. I think this might also be where you check in if you're Wyndham Presidential Reserve. We're gonna go down this way and down the other set of elevators to get to the pool that's over on this side of the property. Okay, so that set of elevator banks was completely out of commission. I know they're doing work on the elevators here, but essentially it doesn't seem like there's a way to get down here other than taking the stairways. So I guess that's what we'll have to do, and let's make our way out here. Yeah, so kind of like another little vestibule here to go out to the pool. And of course, there's also beach access here too. So let's head outside and finish this off with a look at the pool. Now they are doing some painting and renovations here, so that's why they have some scaffolding. Yeah, so there's the beach access, but up here is where the pool is, so let's make our way down here. So yeah, here they have kind of a nice little pool area. Pretty good sized pool, but not too big. And they do have a hot tub here as well, so take advantage of that. We've noticed because our room is right up above here on the 8th floor, that hot tub has been pretty full. We're here kind of during the cooler months, and it is also the start of spring break, so a lot of people packed into that hot tub. So yeah, really neat pool area here. They do have steps here on this end to get in, but everything else looks like ladders. There are no real umbrellas over here, kind of providing any shade, but depending on the time of day, the building will provide shade, but I'm sure in the afternoon, once the sun kind of goes over that way, well, it can get pretty sunny out here. They also have kind of a little bar area here, so grab yourself a drink while you're at the property. We'll take a look at our views out here to the Gulf. The beautiful white sand we saw just a moment ago right out there. Yeah, just one other look here at the pool area. Really nice area. Seems to be a popular pool. They do have fairly good pools here at the resort. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really does help with these videos. Giving those likes gets them out to more people looking to come here to Club Wyndham Panama City Beach. And if you want to see another video from here at the property, it will be a studio room tour. You can check that out. Maybe you're considering staying in one of those. Click on that video here coming up next. Thanks for watching. And remember, until next time, the best destination is always a timeshare.